Hey guys, welcome to this video and my channel. My name is Heather. I'm the owner, creator, and official dishwasher here at A Wicked Whisk. And today, y'all, we are going back home. We are going all the way back circa 1985. We are sick home from school. We are laid up on the couch with our grandma watching The Price is Right and her afternoon stories. And the only thing that made it even better was a great big old bowl of Chef Boyardee beefaroni. And that's what we're working on today. We're going to go ahead and do a homemade version of our favorite comfort food in a can. It's easy, it's inexpensive, it's going to feed the whole family, it's going to take you right on back to that couch with your grandma. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is going to start with ground beef and onion. Now, I am not a huge fan of biting into pieces of onion, so I normally run mine through through my little food processor, so it's all like very micro fine. Feel free not to do that. It's just a me thing. So I've got my pan. It's really, really hot. It's screaming hot. And I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef. I'm going to start breaking that up. Now I am using 80-20 today. I think that has the best flavor in my opinion. If you decide to use something a little more lean, just kind of watch. You might have to add a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't dry out. Once I get that meat all broken up, I'm going to slide in the onions. And then these are going to cook together. All right, so you're going to go ahead and cook this through until your ground beef is no longer pink. This is such an easy recipe. This is such an easy, quick recipe. My word, I wish y'all could smell this right now. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to keep browning this together for the next 5 or 6 minutes. You want to cook this to where your ground beef is no longer pink. Matter of fact, if you can get it to where you've got those brown bits where everything starts getting a little bit crispy and a little bit brown, oh my word, that's where all your flavor is. So don't be afraid of burning this, but yeah, if you can get those crispy bits going on, that's the way to go. Once you have everything cooked through, you're going to drain off your grease, and then you're going to return this, well, not to your hot plate, but you're going to return it to your stovetop, and then we're going to go ahead and add everything else in. Now, beefaroni was never bougie, and we're not going to make it bougie. You could with this. You could start adding in, hand-peeled tomatoes and Italian seasonings and all these things, but that's not what this meal is all about. We're trying to bring back that nostalgic feeling. So we're going to try to stay as close to the original recipe profile as we can. So one thing I love about this meal is it is a one pot meal, or in this case, a one pan meal. You're going to cook everything together in one pan, so that's less dishes, and Lord knows we love that. And plus it uses a lot of very inexpensive, simple ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry. And we're going to go ahead and just start dumping everything in the pan.
Now, once your meat is cooked and you have drained the grease and you've returned the meat to the pan, you're going to add everything else. To your meat, you're going to go ahead and add 2 10.75 ounce cans of your concentrated tomato soup. That's your standard soup can, in case you're wondering. You're going to also add 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then also 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar, in addition to 1 teaspoon each of salt and pepper.
Okay, so we got half the things in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder. And yeah, I measure spices like that with my heart. Okay, and now this little thing right here is like one of my very favorite things that they ever invented in life. And if you don't know what this is tomato paste in a tube with a little resealable cap. For real. Because honestly, how many times do we get that little tiny little can of tomato paste and we use like 3/4 of it or half of it or 1 tablespoon out of it? And then if you're like me, you decide I'm not going to waste these little 2 ounces of tomato paste, and you put it in your refrigerator and it dries out and you never use it, and then you're sad. And then as soon as you throw it out, the next week you needed tomato paste or something. So this right here, you use what you need out of it. You put the little cap back on, put it in your refrigerator. Ah, it's there. It stays fresh. I love this thing. So go ahead and add in, let's do about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm eyeballing it. let's go 3.5. Let's do 4. That's probably somewhere between 3.5 and 4. All right. Put the cap back on. You've got it for life now. Yay. And then what we're also going to add is our broth. Now, start cranking your heat up a little bit here. I've got here 4 cups of beef broth mixed with 1 cup of water. I also have another little thing of water standing on deck because we're going to add the pasta to this. It's going to cook in this, in all of this. And if it starts looking a little bit dry, be sure you have a little bit of water on hand so that you can add that in. You want this to be saucy and tender and amazing. You don't want dry pasta. And tomato-based sauces, the pasta almost always sticks to the bottom. So you want to go ahead and make sure you're stirring it all the time, and you want to make sure you have a little bit of water off to the side so that you can add that in. Now, I am using just regular beef broth, not low sodium, not low salt, just high octane beef broth. If you have a concern about the sodium, I would suggest starting with a low sodium beef broth instead, and maybe don't add all of the salt, earlier. Just maybe add about half of it, and then see as you get closer to the end when you do a taste test before serving it if you need more salt or not to the recipe. So I kind of go high octane on the salt, and if you don't, totally cool. Just be sure you keep that into consideration. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 4 cups of beef broth and my 1 cup of water that's mixed in here. Oh yeah. And I already added that. All right, we're going to start stirring everything together. And you're going to bring this to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, you're going to add your pasta. Okay. So our sauce is all bubbling and happy right now. So we're going to go ahead and add our pasta, our dry pasta, to this. And then that pasta is going to cook in the sauce. Now, I am using Walmart ziti. I have 16 ounces, which is about 4 cups. I like using this one because honestly, it's the one that I found that looks the most like the original canned pasta. It has the same shape. So you can use anything you want though. You don't have to go tracking down this particular shape. If you have ziti on hand and you want to use it, great. If you have elbows, little shells, rigatoni, whatever. This is not a complicated recipe. This isn't something that you have to go and spend extra money on, something that you already have something similar in your pantry, okay? Like I said, I just got it for the shape. All I did. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to add that, the entire box, into our sauce. We're going to stir it all together. We're going to loosely cover, and then we're going to cook that for probably about 12 to 15 minutes. And we're also going to want to stir this occasionally so nothing sticks to the pan. Now, we added in the total of 5 cups of liquid with the 4 cups of broth and 1 cup of water mixed in together. We are going to keep an eye on our sauce. We may need to add just a little bit more, you know what I mean, to get that consistency. And you need to do that as well. You want to make sure that, everyone likes something a little bit different. Some people like their pasta and their sauce extremely saucy. Some people don't. So just kind of watch it based on your preference. Add a little bit more liquid if you think you need yours to be a little saucier. If not, good to go. Either way, always good to be prepared. So we're going to go ahead and add this, stir it all in, loosely cover, cook it off, keep an eye on it, and then we're going to get ready to eat. We've got all of our pasta in. We have a very gentle boil going on right now. We're going to go ahead and cover this. I'll say loosely so it's not 100% on, with your lid just a little bit off. And then we're going to go ahead and let this cook for another 12 to 15 minutes, and then it's going to be amazing. Okay, so this smells amazing. Look at all that steam. Ah! All right, so okay, we're going to finish this off with 2 things. First thing is we're going to add on a little bit we're going to do a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese. This is about half a cup, nothing fancy, out of the little, tubby tub thing. And then I also have here about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. We're going to stir in the Parmesan cheese. It's going to give it just a little bit of a bite. And then as this sits for the next 5 minutes or so and really starts thickening up, we're going to also add on this butter. And the butter is going to melt and make everything all glossy and beautiful and just, And it's just the perfect finishing touch. So let's go ahead, finish all that part out, and then we're getting ready to eat. This is just perfect in every way. It's a perfect consistency. We didn't need to add any extra liquid to it. It's just, oh my goodness, it's thick and tomatoey and so much ground beef. It's just the perfect smell. It smells just like home. And this is honestly one of those meals that just proves that you don't need something expensive to make your heart happy. All right. This is budget friendly. It's a one pot meal. You've got probably a lot of these ingredients already in your pantry. It's inexpensive. And honestly, it's perfection. It just shows that you don't need anything fancy for it to be fabulous. So I hope you had fun with me today. I had a blast. This is a great recipe and honestly one of my favorites. So I hope you give it a try. If you do, I would love to hear how you like it. Please leave me a comment below if you do end up sharing it with your family. Other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, be well. Okay, you know I can't plate this up for pictures and not take a bite, right? That is just perfection. That is absolutely old school beefaroni, but better, but better. So yeah, if you don't want to get the canned stuff and you want to give a shot at doing it yourself, this is it. This will take you right back. Oh my goodness gracious. Have a good one. See ya. No, 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 no. We're working. We're working. Hey, no, we're working. Hey guys, welcome to this video and my channel. My name is Heather. I'm the owner creator.